The Super Channel Heart and Home After Show with special guests Chris McNally, Ben Rosenbaum, Jacob Shoemay, Loretta Walsh, and now the host of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Elliott Wallach.
Welcome to the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Episode 3, kicking things off with some political intrigue. Tiffiany Wallach is on the set with Chris McNally to find out how much he thinks Lucas is enjoying being the governor. Let's take a look.
So how have you liked being the governor?
I don't know, being the governor is great, and it's fun. It's good. I enjoy the political aspect of it. I just think it brings in ethical and moral issues that I personally find interesting. So it's been enjoyable sort of navigating through that and seeing what the writers bring forward and want to explore.
There's some conflict for him this season between him and Lee. You know, he so graciously offered to name the park after Goldie, but now he's run into some problems. How do you think this is going to affect your relationship with Lee?
Well, I think Lucas is discovering just how stubborn Lee is.
This is not my business, but stick with me. Henry ran out of space to store his hazelnuts, and, see, we figured mostly you'd have important business and capital. Well, technically speaking, at least, it's...
That was a particularly petty move by Lee.
I wonder who came up with that. That was a good idea.
Yeah. That was pretty fun to see Cabin playing another side of Lee. Like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of this guy.
Yeah, because he's a nice guy. But, you know, I've seen that before in him. I mean, there was some confrontation with Henry. Maybe it was season 2 or 3 when Henry, like, Lee had just gotten here and Henry was not the mayor anymore, and he was offering to help Lee, and you know, sort of with that edge, like, you don't want him, and Lee was like, no, you know, he could hold his own.
Yeah, he's always known who he is, but it doesn't come to the fore necessarily, that side of him, all that often. The fun of it for me was that Hickam is doing a balancing act, trying to be there for both of his friends. And that puts him in some awkward positions in the saloon. So that was fun to play with those guys. And then eventually, Hickam might be part of the solution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Step up, help his friends.
We were just out on a nature walk. Actually, we were curious about what is going on here.
Hey.
Hickam?
Lee wants to make a new hiking trail and name it after Goldie because Lucas shrunk the park to the size of a postage stamp to appease the ranchers, and he changed the name. I'm so sorry.
Lucas is doing everything he can to move this park forward, and he keeps coming up against walls, and each time he hits one to get to the other side, it's sort of like he has to strip off something that he's promised to his friend, and it's a tough place to be, and I don't think at this point he knows how to resolve it. He's hoping that Lee will come around, and I think another part of him is hoping that there's another avenue so that he can try and, you know, claw some of these things back. To be honest, they're both being a bit stubborn.
Yeah, we see that, I think. Yeah. Do you like working with Kevin? I mean, how is that chemistry? When you have chemistry on screen, how is it just personally? How many times have you guys partnered together for scenes? Not a lot that I remember.
There has been in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. When we were going through the storyline of leading up to the wedding, I feel like Lee was going to be Lucas's best man, and I feel like I work with him all the time, but it's probably because he and I are friends, and so we end up together a lot.
Your scenes are in the green room when you're hanging out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had something funny I was going to tell you, but now I can't remember what it is.
That's okay. That happens to
It's
me
about
all
Kevin.
the time.
What was it?
It'll happen.
Oh, I remember
okay,
what
see?
it was.
Go. Yeah.
No, I was going to say that working with Kevin is great because it's humbling, as nobody makes fun of me more than Kevin does. He just will cut me right down, and he thoroughly enjoys it. And he just cracks himself up and gets himself in stitches, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's a true friend right there, right? So there's another new character on the show this season, Edie Martell. Tell me about her. What do you think of that character?
Edie Martell, at this point in the story, I don't think Lucas is, or me, if I'm speaking from this point, not sure what to make of Edie, whether she's a friend or a foe. She has, I think, captured Lucas's eye. There's something about her, sort of the way that she carries herself, presents herself, her intellectual mind, the fact that she is a female lawyer in 1921. I think that's the year, right?
Yeah, 1921.
1921.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the official word. It's
Yes,
1921.
1921. So I think that unfortunately was a rarity at the time, and at that time in history. But for Lucas, it shows that there is a huge amount of drive and ambition within her character to achieve a position like that at that point in time. So he's caught off guard by just her and her presence, and yet having to deal with this conflict that she's presented. So I don't think he knows where he stands. He's trying to figure it out and process it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. I mean, that can't go unnoticed, right?
Did I leave that out when I was
I don't
speaking about
know.
all
You
the other
probably said
attributes?
it. You probably said it.
No, I did
Yeah.
leave it out. You're right.
Yeah, right? I mean, so obviously he's going to notice her. And maybe there's a little bit of an undercurrent there. I'm hoping there's an undercurrent there. I think that would be fun to see.
Well, no one has caught Lucas's eye since Lucas and Elizabeth went separate ways.
Yeah, so have you enjoyed working with her on the set?
I have very much. Yeah, she's over there. We're working together right now.
Yeah.
Just took a moment to step aside over here. But yeah, every time we work together, it's great. And I feel like the scenes that we have are nice because it's this. I don't want to give too much away at this point in the story, but there's a bit of a roller coaster happening about if they're at odds or not at odds, and on the same side or not on the same side, and so that's happening in tandem with their personal connection of being intrigued by one another, and yeah, it's been fun. Oh no!
Oh, funny how this keeps happening.
Funny.
Mrs. Canfield said I could work out of here for a few days. I hope you don't mind. If you do,
It's a big table. You can share.
Oh, so you do believe in shared use?
And we know that there's conflict with the ranchers. Do you think that this is going to be solved? I mean, through this season, are we going to be able to get through it without giving? I mean, obviously, you can't tell me exactly, but
Well, I can't tell you at all because I don't know.
oh,
I legitimately don't know. I haven't. We haven't gotten there so far in the season where I have an answer for
Yeah.
that. So I hope it gets resolved.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will get resolved
Yeah.
one way or the other. But how that happens, I don't know.
I'm sure it will get resolved, but however it happens, nobody better try any funny stuff. Because, well, there's not a new Mountie in town, but there is someone trained for the job. Tiffiany is talking to Jacob Shoemay, who plays Oliver Garrett, the Mountie cadet of Hope Valley.
welcome to When Calls the Heart.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how has it been? You're new to the show this season. How has it been working on When Calls the Heart?
It's been great. Everyone here is it's been such a warm welcome. So nice. Yeah, it's just been great overall.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah. What did you think when you first walked on set and you saw it?
It was so wild seeing the town for the first time. To understand that everything is done here. There's no other locations. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful set.
Tell me about your character. Tell me about Oliver. How would you describe him?
Oliver is he's a perfectionist. He does everything in his power to do just the right thing. He has very strong morals. He wants to constantly leave a good impression on Nathan. He strongly believes in loyalty and just keeping people close. And yeah, I think he's just a very overall good person who just always tries to do the good thing.
Yeah. And then things kind of go wrong for him a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, he gets put into some situations where it's just not the most ideal, but he sticks with it.
Yeah. He's got good intentions.
Yes.
Yeah. Any similarities between you and Oliver?
I think we're pretty alike in our personalities, where we're kind of not the most extroverted, I guess. We just try to overall keep to ourselves, and I like to think I have good morals too. But yeah, personality-wise, I think we're quite similar.
Well, one area where I'm sure you're not similar is Oliver has a hard time writing and didn't get all the way through school.
Yes.
And when Nathan finds out about this, there's a possibility that he's going to turn him in, that, you know, Oliver wasn't going to get to continue with the Mountie program because of that.
Yeah.
How do you think Oliver was feeling when Nathan didn't out him to Hargraves?
I think that was something obvious. He'd never experienced it before because he grew up in a family that was lacking of parental figures. So to have Nathan, who kind of acted now as a parental figure, it meant a lot more to him because he had never experienced anything like that before.
How has it been working with Kevin?
Kevin on set, you mean? Or yeah.
On
Oh, he's so funny. I've never met anybody like Kevin. He's so funny. It's amazing how such a well-spoken guy. He always knows what to say. It's so funny working with him on set. It's awesome.
Did he help you feel more relaxed?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
I gotta
always.
think it's a little nerve-wracking when you come to a set where a show that's so established and you're new. I mean, were you nervous?
Oh, totally. I
Yeah.
was totally nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a super warm welcome. Everybody was so nice.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't have been better, honestly.
Yeah. And your acting experience, have you done a lot of TV shows?
This is my 6th credit.
Okay.
It's definitely my biggest. I'm just super lucky, super blessed to be here, and
Yeah.
yeah.
This season, Oliver goes in and actually gets to go back to school a little bit. What do you think about that storyline for him?
Yeah, I think that will really breach into our my storyline, or Oliver's storyline with Erin, Elizabeth. I think she's really rooting for me and really rooting for Oliver. He's pursuing being a Mountie, and I think she wants the best for him.
How did you hear about the audition for this?
I got it as any normal audition from my agent.
Yeah.
I had a friend who went for it too, and it was kind of fun comparing each other's.
Yeah.
But I auditioned for another one. I got 2 auditions for this. When I got Oliver, I got one for Wyatt.
Wyatt. I was just going to say Wyatt.
Yeah.
Because that's another new old character.
Yeah.
It's a different actor playing the Wyatt character this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I auditioned for him as well as Oliver. And honestly, I had thought I had done way better on Wyatt. I thought if I was going to book this, I thought I was going to book Wyatt.
Oh, okay.
Especially since it said he had required baseball experience. And I played baseball growing up.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, yeah. When I heard back for Oliver, I was like, oh. Originally, I think I was told it was 3 scenes for Oliver. But obviously, it's been a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you like the idea of playing a Mountie?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I haven't gotten the full experience yet.
Yeah.
But I think if it really branches into me escaping my apprenticeship and becoming a full-on deputy or a Mountie, then I think that would be a lot more fun. I think there'd be a lot more opportunities.
I think they're setting up some fun storylines for you coming up in future episodes. We're only in episode 3. So I foresee hopefully some exciting things for Oliver to come.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things that go on.
You know, I interviewed Jacob for a Hardy's TV Tuesday. You guys will be seeing that coming up in a few weeks. But I gotta say, he's just a terrific young man. He's incredibly pleasant. He's grounded. He's a perfect fit into the culture of Hope Valley in front of the camera and behind. And, you know, no one personifies that more than Tiffany's next guest, who has been with Calls the Heart since season 1, episode 1. And I'm talking about Loretta Walsh, who plays Florence Yost, and she shares her feelings on being part of this incredible 12-year milestone. Let's take a look.
Loretta, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Can you believe
I
12
know.
seasons?
I cannot believe it. I can't believe it because when we started, you didn't have kids in real life. Right. My kids were very little, and so coming up here to do these interviews was more difficult, right? But of course, my kids are pretty much grown now, and yours, I mean, you don't have a baby anymore.
No,
she's
I know.
grown.
I know she is. There's been so much life that's happened behind the scenes, you know, on When Calls the Heart. People having kids, people getting married, all kinds of different life experiences. And so it's kind of cool to spend over a decade with people, and you really get to know them very deeply.
Yeah. You were just telling me a fun story off camera about the ring that you had. We were asking about the wedding ring that you're wearing from Ned is a prop.
Yes.
Which is very pretty, though.
It is very pretty and very Florence, actually.
Yes.
I'm like, this was a great choice. And he gifted it to Florence, and so it's very pretty. But this one is my own.
And you were wearing that as a wedding band.
Was in season 1, I was, and then in season 2, when the pastor came to town, who was actually a scam artist, and Florence was kind of flirting with him in her own way. And I think around that time, I decided to move it to my right hand, But it's my own personal ring. It belonged to my grandmother, my grandfather made it for her out of a shilling many, many years ago, and she gave it to me before I passed. And so it's so nice, right? Because you kind of have these little personal connections, and the props people have always let me wear it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, and it's really pretty. And I didn't know that story, and I know people will enjoy hearing that. They love these like little Easter eggs, like, things that we don't know.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's talk about this season 12. So Florence doesn't seem to like these comic books that have arrived at town.
She's so funny. When I first read the scripts, I was like, some good old-fashioned cranky Florence, Because
she's evolved a little bit.
Yes, she's evolved over the years, and she still is a stickler, and can be tough at times, but she's softened so much, over the years, and even though sort of people go, oh, Florence, she's still everybody's friend, I think for Florence, she's very suspicious of anything that's new. It's kind of like guilty until proven innocent. And for her, it's I think very frivolous. She sees all these kids being so obsessed, with these comic books, and she's like, oh, this is a waste of time and money and energy, and you should be focusing on your schoolwork. What's funny about it, though, is that Florence has read all of them, too, and knows in detail the things that actually happen in these comics, which comes out in the end. So
on the radio show.
On the radio show, that's right. She gets busted, right? Yeah.
What do you think about that radio show?
Oh, my goodness. I think it's great. I think Pascal is a master in playing this character. Really. She really is. She's so excellent as Rosemary, and so she can just really fill, what those shoes need to be. And so it was really fun. It was one of those scenes that there's a lot of moving parts to. And so Mike Roll was directing those episodes. I felt like I said those words so many times that they really started to make no sense to me.
Isn't that weird how that happens? You start thinking, is that a word?
I know. That's right. But I think it was really fun, and he let me improvise a little bit at the end, and I think a little bit of that ended up in the final take. So
space travel from Earth to Mars, narrowly avoiding attacks by the Zogonauts from planet Flibbleflop, having to deflect their space rays using a giant head of broccoli.
Florence, you've been reading them.
Oh, only a few. Broccoli's for eating, not deflecting space rays.
I think I improvised when the dialogue had finished. I think I just sort of doubled down, after I had been busted, and said, broccoli's for eating. It's not for deflecting space rays. I think I said something like that. And Erin sent me a text saying, hey, guess what ended up in the cut? And I was like, I don't know. So she sent me the quote. So it's kind of fun when things like that happen, like make an offer, you never know.
Right.
If they're going to go, oh, no, don't do that. Or, oh, okay, that's fine, but we don't have time. So it always feels kind of like, oh, yay, they thought it was funny. They thought it was funny, or they thought it was cute, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it fun to improvise, or when you put something out like that, is it a little bit scary?
Because
Because you are vulnerable. People kind of go,
I know, you are. I think on this show, it's been such a unique gift because being on the show for such a long time, a lot of the crew, they come back every single year. A lot of the directors, they come back you know, the other actors, my castmates, we really have a lot of trust in each other. And so I think that creates an environment to be able to try things, you know, and when you know the character really well, it's like, okay, why not? Make an offer, right? I think, you know, in my younger years, I was a little more reserved and kind of scared to make an offer. But now I'm like, whatever. What's the worst that can happen? They won't use it? Okay. Neil Fernley, bless him. He would let me improvise for days, you know, at the end of a scene. And he would say, Loretta, I love you, but I gotta keep this episode to 42 minutes. So if you're gonna do it, you've gotta get in there and do it fast. But he was a real champion and just such a joy. So we miss him very much around here, but man, he left an incredible, he was such a big part of the legacy of When Calls the Heart, and so that's a beautiful thing he left behind.
Yeah. And he loved the business. He loved the job.
Yes, he did.
Right till the very end.
Loved
you know,
storytelling.
Yes.
Loved storytelling. Yeah, I have not a bad word to say, and he's missed very much.
Yeah. Well, he's not the only one that loves storytelling, because the prop department or production design, Sarah, these comic books. Did you tell me about those?
They're extraordinary. The detail was amazing. I didn't have to pretend to be interested in them. I was like, give me one of those things. They were really, really good. And she did an extraordinary job. The details that go into all of the props, the newspapers, they have real articles in there about things that are happening in Hope Valley, including storylines. You know, if there's an election, there'll be, you know, an article about the election. And really, somebody's taken the time to write that. A lot of details that we don't even think about.
Well, and then we were talking a little bit about the radio show, and it's this kind of modern element that's come into Hope Valley. And they always do that every season, I feel like. They bring in
introduce something.
Yeah, a new modern idea. So I feel like the radio show was that for this season, one of the things. With the radio, I was wondering, have you ever worked in radio or done any voiceover work?
I have done voiceover work, actually. Yeah. It's a really cool and interesting thing to do. And I mean, I've only done a little bit of it. But I have friends who do animation, who do narration, who work in commercials, who do all kinds of voice work, and they're extraordinary.
Did you do it in your voice with your accent, or?
I've done both.
Oh, okay.
It's very freeing, actually, because, you know, when you get called in to do something, like, you know, for me in my own natural accent, I'm like, my gosh, thank you so much for asking. Like, I'm so happy to do that. I love to be able to speak in my own dialect.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you teach other actors.
I do.
Right? And so do you work a lot on voice work? I mean, obviously your voice is your instrument. It's instrumental in your performance.
I mean, I'm certainly not a voice teacher, but I understand the importance of voice. And I understand how critical it is to be able to verbally express story, you know, particularly in plays when dialogue is so heavy. You know, film can be a little bit different because you're mic'd, so you can be very quiet and we'll still be able to hear the intimacy of that. But yeah, voice is a critical skill for any performer.
Has your process changed over the years? Like the way you learned the scripts, has that changed as you've?
It has changed in the sense that now I know kind of what works for me, right? But I think with each role, sometimes I approach things in a different way, and sometimes I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to approach it. With When Calls the Heart, I mean, I think that things have evolved over the years, and really sort of understanding who Florence is and what makes her tick. There's so much of a shortcut now. Sometimes I think, was I Florence before I got this part? Or have I turned into Florence? Or what? Maybe I'm more like her than I originally thought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or she's more like you.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Henry's practically giving those hazelnuts away. People only have so much disposable income.
Well, Jed never should have bought that fruit stand in the first place if he couldn't make a go of it. Oh, don't forget bridge tonight. no idea Molly had a soft spot for Jed Campbell.
Well, she might be the only one. He can be quite difficult.
Well, I'll be.
What is it?
If I'm not mistaken, double-headed eagle.
There's a mystery that comes up with this gold coin that shows up at the mercantile.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that. I mean, I don't think we know much yet.
Right. We find this gold coin in the mercantile cash register. And Ned finds it, and Florence is quickly drawn into what is going on because he understands. Ned has so many hobbies and so many skills. He knows coins, and he's even got a special book.
Of course he does.
On coin collecting. But this is my first time seeing this coin, but I understand its importance immediately. And I think for a moment, Florence was really hoping to keep the coin.
Oh, wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah.
We can retire.
I think she was sort of imagining that they could use that for, I don't know, something something enjoyable, you know? Yeah, she quickly surrenders that one.
Yeah. So do you think there's a suspect person in town? I mean, maybe,
well,
could be anybody.
We're certainly trying to help, you know, because everybody comes into the mercantile. We see most people most days, you know, in Hope Valley. So we're sort of, and I think Ned and Florence are just very helpful people. They're just upstanding citizens of the community. And if they want to help the police, of course. Oh, well, of course, you know, you can trust us, right? So, but they're a little sketchy on details. So they're helping as best they can, but are a bit clueless.
Yeah. So we're just into the season. We have a lot left. How would you describe the rest of the season?
Oh my goodness.
In an overview.
I have to tell you that, you know, right now we're shooting right at the end of the season, and these last couple of scripts, first of all, the season has a lot. Romance, of course, adventure and mystery, community, comedy. In this last stretch, there's some real heart.
Okay.
In these scripts.
Okay.
And I was really, really moved reading these finale scripts. And so I think that the fans are going to feel a lot and feel really touched by the stories that are being told here in Hope Valley. And I love that because I just think When Calls the Heart, who knows what's sort of the secret to what it is that people really love about this show. But I think it's when these characters reveal their hearts on camera and we get to see them and the audience goes, oh, I see their heart. I see who they really are. I see their best, loving, vulnerable, kind, empathetic, compassionate person. And I think that's a big part of it. Yeah. And we're going to get to really see that in the season 2.
Okay, well, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great description.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
And I am such a huge fan of Loretta's heart. She is, as you watch her, that's how she is. She's an incredibly warm person. She's a highlight of every set visit we make. But that concludes this episode of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show. Don't forget to tune in next week. And of course, tune in to Hardy's TV Tuesday tomorrow. It's a good one. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.